One moment, everything looks normal. The sun is shining, the sky is blue, and life goes on as usual. Then, in an instant, the sun vanishes. Darkness swallows the earth. No sunrise tomorrow, no daylight ever again. Just endless night. Without the sun, could our planet survive? And if so, for how long before everything collapsed? The first 8 minutes of illusion. For about 8 minutes, nothing would seem unusual. The sun's light is still racing toward Earth at 300,000 kilometers per second, and a life carries on like normal. Birds chirp, people drive to work, and the oceans sparkle. But once those 8 minutes are up, everything changes. The familiar glow of day vanishes, leaving our planet wrapped in endless night. No sunrise tomorrow, no golden light across the horizon, just pitch black skies filled only with stars. And it's not only light that disappears. The sun's gravity, which has held Earth in a steady orbit for billions of years, would be gone too. Without it, our planet would stop circling in its familiar path and shoot off in a straight line into deep space, like a ship suddenly cut loose from its anchor. For us, the loss of gravity isn't something we would feel immediately. There would be no sudden jolt or shaking ground, but silently and steadily, Earth would drift away, leaving behind the heart of the solar system. In less than 10 minutes after the sun's disappearance, our world has already become a lonely traveler, sailing into the cosmic dark with no way to turn back. Life without light. Once the sun disappears, the change in temperature is immediate and relentless. Without sunlight to warm the surface, Earth begins to lose heat like a house with all the windows open in winter. Within just a few days, the average global temperature dips below freezing. At first, it feels like a sudden cold snap, but soon entire regions plunge into unending frost. Plants are among the first victims. Deprived of sunlight, they can no longer perform photosynthesis. Crops die, forests weaken, and the food chains that rely on green life start to collapse. Animals that depend on those plants soon starve, and the domino effect spreads across ecosystems. Within months, the oceans start to transform. Their surfaces glaze over with ice, stretching further and further outward each week. But beneath the frozen top layers, liquid water still remains for a time. That's because geothermal energy, heat escaping from Earth's interior, keeps the deeper sections from solidifying completely. Down near hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor, life continues in its own strange bubble, powered not by sunlight but by heat and minerals from inside the Earth. Still, these pockets of survival are tiny compared to the vast collapse above. For almost every familiar species on land and sea, the world of light and warmth is gone forever. The human experience. When the sun blinks out, cities are the first to feel the weight of endless night. Streets that once glowed with morning light now rely only on stars, the faint shimmer of the moon, and the buzzing of artificial lamps. Fear spreads quickly, and people burn through energy supplies at record speed. Governments scramble to design giant light arrays, desperate to mimic the sun, but no invention can replace its steady warmth. Solar power dies in an instant, leaving fossil fuels, hydroelectric dams, and nuclear plants as the last lifeline. At first, society clings to normal routine, but as the weeks pass, the cold grows harsher. Within a few months, food shortages hit and heated shelters become the new centers of survival. By the end of the first year, Earth has turned into a frozen wasteland. The average surface temperature plunges to about minus 73 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. At that point, stepping outside without protection is a death sentence. Engine seize, pipes burst, and exposed skin freezes in minutes. Above ground, survival is no longer possible. Humanity's only chance lies underground or in carefully controlled bunkers, clinging to heat and power in a world that has lost its sun. Gravitational chaos. Once the sun disappears, Earth's orbit is no longer stable. Our planet has been held in place for billions of years by the sun's gravity. But without that pull, it suddenly becomes a runaway traveler. Earth would shoot off in a straight line, carrying the moon along with it, as if someone had cut the string of a slingshot. The rest of the solar system would share the same fate. Mercury, Venus, Mars, and the outer giants would all break free, drifting into the void. The graceful dance of planets circling a star would collapse in an instant, replaced by chaos. Asteroids and comets, once shaped by the sun's pull, would scatter like sparks from a fire. Collisions would become more likely as these bodies wander in random paths, no longer guided by a central anchor. As for Earth, its future would be nothing short of lonely. Over millions of years, it could pass near another star, and there's a small chance it might get caught in a new orbit. But that journey would be long and uncertain. Until then, our planet would drift endlessly through the galaxy, an icy ghost ship carrying the frozen remains of everything the sun once kept alive. Could humans survive? Even without the sun, small groups of humans might find ways to hang on. One strategy would be moving underground, where Earth's own geothermal heat could provide warmth and even limited energy. Tunnels and bunkers built near volcanic regions or geothermal fields might become humanity's new homes. Another possibility is constructing domed cities powered by nuclear or even experimental fusion reactors. Inside these domes, artificial light could support hydroponic farms, giving people a chance to grow food when nothing outside survives. The oceans, though frozen on the surface, would still hide liquid water deep below. Submarines or undersea bases could tap into that heat, using the vast reservoirs as a protective shield from the freezing air above. But even with these creative ideas, Earth would never look the same. It wouldn't be the blue and green world that humans evolved on, but a frozen husk dotted with a few flickering outposts. Survival might be possible for years, maybe centuries, but without the sun, Earth's chances of sustaining a thriving civilization would grow smaller every day. Humanity could cling to life, but it would be survival, not living. Cosmic perspective. The night sky without the sun would still hold beauty, though it would feel painfully empty. Stars would shine as they always have, scattered across the black canvas of space. Jupiter and Saturn would still reflect starlight faintly, glowing like distant lanterns, but their brightness would be negligible compared to what the sun once gave us. Above, the Milky Way galaxy would sprawl in astonishing detail, brighter and clearer than ever before, filling the darkness with billions of stars. It would be breathtaking, yet bittersweet. Every glance upward would remind humanity of what was lost. The sun that gave warmth, energy, and life. The galaxy's endless beauty would feel more like a memorial than a gift. Earth would drift on silently, becoming just another frozen rock in space. Its people staring out at a universe that looks alive while their own world slowly fades. The stars would keep shining, uncaring, and the vast sweep of the Milky Way would be the last haunting reminder of the sun that once made Earth thrive. If the sun were to suddenly vanish, Earth's story would unravel step by step. For 8 short minutes, everything would look the same, but then the lights would go out forever. Darkness would fall, temperatures would sink, ecosystems would collapse, and the oceans would freeze. Our planet would drift through space with no orbit to follow, turning into a frozen traveler carrying the remains of a once living world. This isn't just about losing daylight, it's about losing the very heart of life itself. Plants, animals, and people, all connected by the sun's energy, would find survival nearly impossible. Humanity might invent clever ways to stretch out its time, but Earth would never again be the bright blue planet we know. The disappearance of the sun would not only end our days, but also strip away the balance of the solar system. It would remind us how fragile life really is, and how much we depend on the star at the center of everything. But here's a thought. What if instead of disappearing, the sun exploded in a violent blast? That would be a whole new nightmare. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed exploring this scenario, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible journeys into science and space.